up? What's up? Welcome back, man, to another episode of Skrilla's Trap Spot. Hey, man, we back with an amazing cast, man. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and we got a crazy, crazy subject as always, man. It's about to be Halloween time, so the gateway into this time of the year, bro. We about to drop our top three conspiracy theories, man. It's a weird time that we living in. I don't know what's going on. It's aliens, is the government messing with our food. There's so much crazy stuff going on, but we about to dive deep in all of it tonight on the top three conspiracy theories, man. But let me introduce my cast with me real quick, man. I'm gonna start with my right here. Got my boy Jacoby in the building.
What up, though?
You already know what time it is, man. I got the infamous Drew.
What's up? What's up?
And I ain't even got to announce it, man. My brother, man. Motherfucking Jay Hustle, bro.
What it is? We back. We back.
We back, man. So, hey, before we dive into these conspiracy theories, because we all got our own individual conspiracy theories that we believe in, that we gonna vouch for, we gonna debate about. Let's talk about this thing that's taking over the world right now, this big subject. How y'all feel about these little aliens that they just showed out of Mexico, man? Hey, let's start with Hustle, man. How you feel about it, bro? Is it a toy or are they real, bro?
Man, I feel like it's fake.
You feel like they fake?
Yeah, man. I feel like them things, they done made that up, man. They're made out of clay, though, man. Them things made out of...
They did analysis on the bones and that. You think it's still bullshit?
What, you talking about the X-ray?
Yeah, the X-ray.
I can go make up some X-ray. You want me to make up some?
The 3D
right
X-ray?
Yeah.
That's what they got the 3D printers. You know,
you can make up anything, man.
With a 3D printer.
Why would they bring these up though? Why would they just pull these aliens out of nowhere? Just what's the?
I think somebody came up with a bright idea.
Okay.
To maybe use a 3D printer, some artificial intelligence. You know, with all this modern technology, you can create any illusion, and you know, they probably planted it so that it would be discovered. And
okay,
you know, it's. My thing, why I really don't believe in it though, is why the aliens look exactly like
E.T.
E.T.
They were twins,
boy.
Like the alien look too much like what we typically always saw aliens looking like.
Like with all the movies, E.T., all
everything.
Yeah.
Man.
So you think it's bullshit?
I think anytime you have a conspiracy theory and you know exactly, you know, it's as predicted.
Mm-hmm.
It can't. It's too perfect.
Perfect
for it to not be. For it to be real.
Damn.
Okay, so you answered the question saying you really ain't feeling it.
I ain't feeling it.
So
Cole, talk to me, bro. Talk to me,
no's.
Cole. What you think about them aliens, man?
You already know I don't believe that shit at all.
Oh shit, 3 no's.
Nah, that's
Three dogs.
That's some goofy ass shit, man.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to the bottom of why they would do it, and I don't believe in me.
I look at it like if you want to answer behind like why they did it, I look at it like a scare tactic. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's almost like mental slavery in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Keep you boxed in a certain sense. You know what I'm saying? When you think there's certain threats,
agenda.
Yeah, when certain threats is out there or whatever, it kind of keep you a little bit more. You know what I'm saying, tamed or whatever and stuff like that. Like, I don't believe that.
So you think that they would release something like that to kind of keep us on our toes, keep us on the edge?
Yeah, because it's so much more stuff going on out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're going to tell you something like that is what I believe that it's like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? Keep you busy, you know, with your mind working. Busy. Yeah, like, damn, like, well, okay, I got to worry about this. I got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Versus if you really just sat back and focused on what was more important, it's going to take a lot of power away from them. You know what I'm saying? Fucking up their agenda. So
that's deep.
That's actually a conspiracy.
That's a conspiracy for real.
For real, it's a deflection.
Do y'all believe in conspiracy theories? What you think?
You know me. I don't believe in that term conspiracy theory and nothing like that. It's like, as it is though, it ain't. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
okay. So you kind of. You like it. You don't like that gray area. You like that black and white.
I'm black and white. I don't fuck with no
black
gray
and
area.
white.
Hustle. You believe conspiracy theories?
Not really, man. I think
it ain't no conspiracy theory. You be like, damn, you know what? This might.
I think it might be assumptions. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like a
Okay.
coincidence.
Okay.
You know, I don't think nobody. Well, I take that back. I say
Crazy
like
shit out there, bro.
it like 95% of it be some bull, and then 5% it might be some truth behind it. But
So you feel like if it's smoke, it's fire somewhere. It may not be a blazing fire. It might just be a match.
yeah,
I
I
got
think folk be thinking too deep sometimes, man.
I got you.
I believe there are conspiracies, but I also believe the real conspiracies we don't know. Like you get these like folks get on YouTube and social media and give these conspiracy theories, and then they say exactly what's going on.
Like they got all
If
the
it was
details.
really a conspiracy, you think that you would know? You know, it wouldn't go. It wouldn't play out the way that you describing that it play. We wouldn't even know.
Okay.
Now we know we might know we might can like he said if this where there's smoke there's fire you might know something's going on like something's at play
Mm-hmm.
but you won't know the full details. You couldn't predict. Have you ever watched? Well, I can't say that because people it is some movies that's predictable, but it's like you can't predict a script to the T.
Okay.
You might can. You might can say, okay, yeah, something weird about that. That something ain't right about that. But then they come up with the whole theory that in their mind of what's at play, and that I don't think that's what's up. I don't think
Gotcha.
that they really own to it. If it's a real conspiracy, but like he said, I think like 99% of the conspiracy theories is bullshit.
So what you saying to kind of elaborate, you feel like if it's legit, they ain't gonna give us enough information to even really build a conspiracy theory
Yeah,
around it.
man.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. That makes sense.
So we
That makes
build
sense.
them. We build them, but we building them wrong. Like we build a conspiracy theory, but it ain't really the real facts of what's at play.
At the end of the day, they gonna give us what they want us to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, I mean, we spoke off camera, so it's a couple of theories we kind of believe in
Yeah.
amongst each other. We gonna kind of dig in them a little bit.
Yeah.
And so what we did was we each of us got our top 3 conspiracy theories that we kind of believe in. Some of us more than others, but we gonna dig deep in them real quick, and we gonna start with our number 3, the one we believe in the least.
Right.
We're gonna start with that. We're gonna go down the line. We're gonna name our conspiracy theories. We're gonna dig deep on them. We're gonna debate them a little bit. And shit, let's want to take the honors, Hustle.
Yeah. I start,
So your number,
man.
what's your number 3 conspiracy
My
theory? that
number
you
3,
got
man.
some gas behind it.
Shit, man. If I come up missing that week, man, you know, some craziness done went on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy. But I'm gonna say, Michelle Obama.
Ooh.
Michelle Obama. I
What
think
about
she
Michelle,
really,
man? Come on now.
I think she really Michael.
Yeah.
Man, damn.
Yeah, man. I
Come
think
on, don't
she,
do Michelle like that,
man.
dog.
I think she Michael, man.
think Michelle a man
Yeah,
for
cause
real?
it been folks
Well,
in the
you
media
better
that
get
done
up fucking-
kind of called her Michael before, and
I
I
just
think,
coming at the end, y'all.
and I think Obama. I think Obama might be a little funny, man.
Hey, you think Obama gay?
Yeah, man. I think so.
Put off the.
I mean, it's been some stuff been kind of bubbling about
I
Obama.
mean,
What
if
that
real,
white? I
you
don't
ain't
know
never
that.
heard that, Drew.
Man, Drew, we
I've
got to
heard
talk.
that from like. I've heard that from
Man,
like.
you better
Fox
look at
News.
She
you better
Michael.
look at some of those pictures of Michelle. And shit.
Yeah.
I've heard
It's
her
what's
playing-
that white guy name that's saying that he been
Oh yeah.
giving Obama head since?
I forgot his name, man.
Man, it's this dude. I don't know if he went on 2020.
But we gonna start off like that.
Yeah, he
channel
came out
y'all-
swinging.
What channel y'all be watching?
Well, it's
Yeah.
I don't know the white guy, the white guy name, and in the comments, comment his name at the bottom of this video. But it's some white guy that's openly homosexual, and he's saying that he's been having sex. Well, he had sexual relations, just oral sex, with Barack Obama before he was the president, when he was a senator. But he didn't know he was a senator though. He was just saying that he was just a charming light skinned dude that
Yeah.
they had a couple of episodes
But at the
with.
same time, you know what's funny is like that'll
What's
put
that?
a lot of shit in like great perspective and like, you know what I'm
Talk,
saying?
elaborate. What you mean?
It like connect the dots because I'm saying during Obama 2 terms or whatever, it was like that LGBTQ community shit.
He
got-
did go hard for
Yeah,
LGBTQ.
that shit,
He
got,
did.
that shit got popular as fuck.
He
Oh,
did.
yeah.
Shout out to the LGBTQ. We ain't,
Yeah.
you know, saying nothing crazy. We just saying he did
Then he
pull
changed
a lot of
something
strings.
with the bathrooms too, like
Did he do that this time?
transsexual.
No, it happened under his
Under his, didn't it?
Under one of his
under
policies?
no, the bathroom stuff because that was all laws created on a state level. But those policies did come during the time that Obama was president. So I guess you could say you had if you believe in that.
Yeah, if you
could say
believe,
Kind of makes sense a little bit.
he had they had influence from the top. But
Mm.
those laws, those bathroom laws, was passed on a state level, so you can't directly attribute that to the federal government because, like, the states that had them, like, what was it, South Carolina?
Mhm.
No, it was North Carolina because they the ones
Was it
who
North
got.
that started it out?
I don't know if they started out, but they was one because you remember they snatched the All-Star game from Charlotte because,
Oh
yeah, I remember that. Was it Charlotte?
No,
but they did.
didn't
no,
they
was
do
it
the
Atlanta?
Braids that they did the braid like that.
But that wasn't the.
Oh, that was the
bathroom.
voting thing. That was voting.
Yeah, that was the voters.
Yeah,
the
that
voters
was the
fraud.
voting
Yeah, the
thing.
voters fraud.
But this Charlotte got the All Star game snatched away from them because, but it was not. But I gotta read it.
We got to read up on it.
I
Yeah,
can't
man.
remember.
So lock in yours. You think that Michelle is Michael?
Yeah, shout out to Michael. What's up, man?
All right, Drew. What's your? You gotta get off that topic.
Yeah, but
What's your number 3, Drew?
So I had to switch the assignment up a little bit because I don't really believe in these conspiracy theories necessarily.
Okay.
But
okay.
these are my most I would say biggest ones that I'm always debating or probably
ahead.
believe in the least.
Okay.
But,
the most.
my my number 3.
The least or the
What's
most.
your number
My 3
What
is
is
that aliens built the pyramids.
Ooh.
That's a good one, Drew.
That's my number 3.
Damn, that's a strong
And
one.
I actually kind of somewhat believe that another species or alien species
Mm-hmm.
They
probably
help.
did exist on Earth at some
Before
point.
humans came.
Yeah, because a lot of Egyptian history and artifacts were destroyed. But when you look in whenever you see them go to the through the pyramids and they read the
Hieroglyphics.
hieroglyphics. A lot of the pictures and stuff show
Alien figures.
Spacecrafts.
spacecrafts and different types of
They do.
species.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
that aren't human. So I do believe that there probably is some extraterrestrials that existed
At one time,
at
at least.
one time in ancient Egypt, and that's probably why that's probably answers to why the pyramids are so built with so much precision.
So
You know what's? Let me say that. I know you got something to say about
yeah,
it.
right.
Boy,
But the
no.
crazy thing about the pyramids, and y'all can Google this, is that still to this day, with all the technology we got, they cannot figure out how they built them.
Yeah. And then who carried them them heavy ass blocks up there?
And then built them perfectly
Yeah, they said
aligned to
With
build
the
a pyramid.
stars.
With the stars.
and they said that the square, each corner of the pyramid is a complete, almost perfect square to a point where it's off. They said off by within within a few inches. So the precision.
They can't figure them
They
out.
don't even have that precision when they build skyscrapers.
Nope.
To the inch.
Nope.
Measure. You still got maybe a foot or two
That it might be off a
of
little
play,
bit. Yeah.
but
But these ancient,
they built so precise that they knew exactly where each stone needed to be placed, and these stones ain't even they rough cut stones.
I think they 10 tons each.
10 tons.
Each stone is 10 tons. They don't even know how they lift
And
them.
they was saying that slaves carried them up. There ain't nowhere in hell.
No,
man.
ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Ain't nowhere in
Cole,
hell.
talk to me. You sound like you got something on your mind.
Oh
Talk
no.
to-
I just
Cook it
wanted
up,
to add,
cook
I
it
wanted
up.
to add in the Drew shit. Just 3 little points or whatever. Like, one, do you think it's possible that when you look at the hieroglyphics that those are fake, fabricated?
You never know with Egypt because once the Romans conquered Egypt, they changed a lot of their history.
Right.
And so you're right. That could be the conspiracy as well.
And another point on that is as far as long ago that was or whatever. Right now we see it as all sand and desert and stuff like that. But like they project, and say like a good possibility that it was water back then, in those areas.
In Egypt,
Yeah,
or the
yeah,
desert.
yeah, in those areas. So if it was water, through a lot of the technology and how they, I don't even say technology, I guess just
like methods that they use. They
Yeah,
probably
Yeah,
use
the building
a lot of
methods.
help from water, from
Right.
the use of water flow, and I saw that too.
right to carry these big tons, 1,000-ton, whatever, bricks and all that, to set them into place. But then a third thing that I heard about the pyramids, it wasn't like aliens. It was talking about a guy named Thoth. They said that he built the pyramids. He built the pyramids in his sleep.
He must have been a giant.
So it's like
It's
if
another
if
Just him, or like he orchestrated the building of it.
No, just him or whatever.
He was
And
sleepwalking.
his name is, it's spelled like TOTH.
TOTH. Y'all make sure y'all Google that.
Yeah,
TOTH.
Yeah, it's
See what
Thoth.
y'all find out about that.
And what's crazy about Thoth is like, so you got to look up this thing. It's called the Emerald Tablets. Look up the Emerald Tablets, and within Thoth, like the correlation between the Emerald Tablets and the Bible is like hand in hand.
Really?
Like, man, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy how much they align with each other. But the crazier part about it is, they say like emerald is like indestructible.
Right. The actual stone. Emerald
Yeah.
stone. Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying like it's like an indestructible thing or whatever. But this is something like, like how like they had the tablets and they had the commandments
Mhm.
engraved in them. Well, the same thing with them emerald tablets. And this story is way older than like
The Bible.
the Bible. But it's
Damn.
Deep.
That's
yeah.
deep. That's deep.
And it's like I say, it's like they got like whatever you want to say, it's like lessons, plans, steps, and all that engraved into these tablets.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what was able to engrave inside of these indestructible things like
At that time.
Yeah, at that time.
Like what type of tools did they have
Yeah.
Right.
that was capable of engraving, like you said, an indestructible stone?
Right. So that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Like,
It's deep, man.
That's deep. That's deep.
I just
Yeah,
I looked that
biblical.
up one day and I was like, damn, that shit crazy as fuck. Like,
Another indestructible stone.
While you over there, man, you might as well drop your number 3.
all right, my
What's
number
your number
three.
3? The one you at the bottom of your list.
All right, I believe Tupac and Biggie still alive and they're doing a double album down in Argentina.
Oh,
No, I'm
man.
bullshitting.
Shout out to Tupac and Big in the front right there.
Oh, yeah.
That is a good
bullshitting.
conspiracy, though. I mean, not
That is a
but
good one though.
Yeah,
That's a
it
good
is.
one.
Tupac and
Nah.
Biggie.
It's old though.
Yeah.
But it's
But no, it still might be.
that's
Still
what
prevalent.
niggas-
It's
yeah.
still prevalent.
Folks
Yeah.
still out here thinking Tupac.
Yeah.
Nah, but on some real shit, my
What's your number 3?
I don't believe dinosaurs was real.
Okay. What's your reason? What's them bones that they be pulling out the ground? You think they was placed?
Man, so listen, dog.
Like that
Man.
alien in Mexico.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, listen.
Yeah.
The same
that
people.
shit,
Yeah, the same
They
folks.
still around.
Yeah.
like that shit, like, all right, I'm gonna just go off straight facts that we all damn near know. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And I just leave it at that. One, you can't go into not one museum and find actual dinosaur bones. That's 100% fact. Those all composites.
Oh, they
They
composite.
composites.
It's composite.
For real.
100%. If you go into it, man, they tell you not to touch them. They have a sign up saying, please don't touch.
Yeah.
Mhm. That ain't
I-
because they fragile?
Yeah, I believe, man, if they fragile, man, they got screws and bolts and stuff through them. Like, come on. So,
But you know, that'd be little kid trips and, kids.
man, but I'm saying, man, they're that fragile that your finger can't touch it, but yet you can put a bolt through it with a screw.
Hey, man.
Hey.
I had a dinosaur bone in the back of my yard, man, so I don't know.
So,
Should I want a
okay.
pot roast bone? No.
It probably was.
See, right. and that's the other thing.
Keep
It's
going.
like,
Keep
it's
going.
like, so my other point with that is like, man, how come nobody, like how you just said, you found a dinosaur bone.
Mhm.
I'm going to question that. But I be looking at it like, how come ain't nobody ever found no dinosaur bones on
Like
their
all these
own?
builders that
Yeah,
be digging and
I'm
building
saying.
foundations.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's like, because the only time, it's like, it always seemed like these archaeologists and all that, they just so happen to dig so far down that they'll say, wait, stop. And then they bring out the little
Brush.
the little brush and just start brushing,
Like
and then they
never
find.
hit it.
Yeah, it's like
yeah, that crazy.
it's like y'all ain't never just broke through some shit, just destroyed
The
some
bone
shit.
always still be intact.
Yeah, it's just right there. Like,
But
I'm
when
like,
they
come
fuck
on,
it up,
bro.
they just don't say nothing. They're like, well, shit,
Yeah.
we fucked that one up, man.
But I'm saying, and then there's always like these large companies, these large corporations be the ones, saying that find them, like these archaeologists
they're
or
the only
whatever.
one digging.
On these, on these
They be having like
excavations.
digging budgets though.
No, but I'm saying though, it's like how come like
he said,
I'm saying like how come like Atlanta Gas and Lights they had to go and dig up, you know what I'm saying, like some pipes and stuff, and
Good
then
question.
just ain't ran into it out of all these 50
question.
states. You know what I'm saying? All these workers, whether you doing gas work, electrical work, water work, some plumbing or whatever the case may be, how come nobody ever ran into this?
It's always
and they always in some
billion-dollar
rural-
archaeologist companies.
and they always
Yeah.
like in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere. So
Yeah,
like,
Yeah,
no,
always.
Like
And
East
then-
Atlanta ain't had no bones.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
Like we should be
Atlanta
coming
had no
across.
bones.
Yeah.
But just chicken bones. That's about it.
Yeah, for real.
We got to see those. Okay, that's a good one. That's a
Found,
good one.
found a prehistoric shorty out there. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, boy.
Somebody gonna be in the comments gonna dispel all the odds.
Yeah, somebody gonna dispel that. The comment section is wide open. Say what you gonna say. We gonna read every comment. Okay, so my number 3 is kind of what Drew said, and I like what you said about the pyramids because that's definitely on my list. But starting at number 3, I think that not only do aliens exist, but they are actually out there, like not walking, like not at Lenox Mall or nothing, like walking around. I'm talking about like they be
Buying
doing
Gucci.
flybys.
She
And-
Sexy Red ain't one
Sexy Red might be. No, shout out to Sexy Red.
Oh man,
She look like she out of this world though.
ski wee, huh?
Ski.
Come stank up your
I
couch.
think.
That's a call for the other aliens, ain't it?
Yeah.
Bring help.
They different species. But no, I think the aliens really do exist. And I'm gonna tell a real quick story. Back when I was like either 15 or 16. Shout out to my boy Jamie Cash. I know you're gonna watch this. And me and my boy Jamie Cash, it was nighttime. We was walking home, and we was walking down the street called Kenosha. It's in a city. It's out in Oak Park, outside of Detroit. When I was living there, and we was walking down the street, nighttime, pitch black, and we looked up, and Jamie Cash, you gonna have to vouch for me because I know they gonna say I'm bullshitting. We looked up and we seen it was a green light. It went and it stopped and it hovered and it shot off like poof. We were like, what the fuck was that? And we looked at each other and we just ran home, sprinted home, like, what the fuck was that? Man, that shit, it came, it stopped, it danced, and then it shot off. Like, what the fuck was that?
That
And
was,
we was
a
like,
laser in the sky.
No, hell no. It
It
wasn't
was
no
a laser. Yeah.
It was a bright green craft that came to a
How
stop.
big was it?
It was up high. I can't tell how big it was,
Oh,
but it was we was like 15 or 16,
Okay.
and we were walking home, pitch black, nighttime, going to my crib. He stayed next door to me or around the corner from me, and it was bright green light. It came to a stop. We're like, what the fuck? And it danced and just shot off like a missile.
Let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
So it was like them strobe lights at the club.
No, it wasn't. That shit was
At the
silent.
club.
Grand
If you
opening.
move, yeah.
That
the
shit
club
was
closed,
silent.
they just
Somebody
cut it off.
Solid, man.
Somebody
That shit was
tested
solid.
out
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know what it was, but I ain't never seen nothing like it still to this day in real life. But
You go to KOD, you'll see.
KOD, they probably got
Yeah, boy. You can buy it right
You can
now.
buy it right now.
Yeah.
But I think they be flying around, man, and the government be making up excuses. But they starting to kind of open up a little bit, saying that they done found some things and they releasing it to the public. I don't know if that's propaganda or not, but we'll see. I feel like we're gonna see soon.
We definitely gonna see.
We gonna
boy.
see soon.
I hope.
You hope? You
I
ready?
mean, if it's real, I need to know.
Yeah.
The rest of this.
Yeah, for real.
Tired of talking about it.
Tired of talking. You
Let's
ready?
see it.
Ready to go to battle with
Yeah,
them?
I wanna,
Yeah.
nah, I ain't
Yeah,
trying to fight them.
he said, "No, I ain't trying to go."
Nah, they won that shit. They been here
I ain't
way
trying to
longer
go to
than-
battle
They
with
out
them.
there. They been here way longer than us. So
Mm-hmm.
They won already. I ain't trying to fight them.
Hustle, we back at you, bro.
Oh, we gonna start back at
We
me?
gonna. No. I tell you what, we gonna
We'll
reverse
go
it.
out the order.
Nah,
Your number
shit.
two.
My
Your
number two. Number two.
No, number two conspiracy theory.
My number two, I'll
Take
probably
your time.
give it to. I got a few in my head.
I know you got a few of them.
Number two, I'll probably give it to, man.
Take your time. Take your time. I know it's a lot of crazy shit out there.
The moon landing was fake.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a big one.
Yep.
That's a real big one, man. I mean, here's my thing about that. If you really do the homework on the moon landing, you will notice that NASA says that the reason we haven't been back to the moon since the 60s is because we don't have the technology to do it no more. And the reason we don't have the technology to do it no more is because they destroyed the technology. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they said. Did you? Hey, but real talk
What?
though. Did you see the craft they landed in? That they so called landed in?
Yeah.
That time made out of tinfoil with little stick legs.
But
But how they got back to Earth?
In that little thing.
In
But-
that little
but
thing.
Yeah,
but
it
the-
was
no,
rocket.
but the
It was
crazy
close
thing
to
about
rocket, though. That's just
the cameraman that filmed it leaving the moon. You ever seen the camera? They got footage of it's like a footage of the spacecraft leaving the moon, and it's panning up looking at them leaving like
So
damn,
they
you
left
just
the
left the
cameraman?
cameraman on the moon.
Right.
He might have been on it might have set up a tripod.
In
They
the,
might have set up a tripod.
I be having so many little stuff that just come with
Might
like,
have set up a
the whole
tripod.
thing with the moon
Hey,
landing. That
man.
it just don't none like
It don't add up.
it's too
There
many
was two
things.
ships, baby. It was two ships went on the moon right there, supposedly. I don't
Man, I ain't
know.
never heard.
So
of
look,
it.
I ain't did enough research to.
And I
You
could
think
just,
we went to the moon, Drew?
I think we did.
So
Okay.
all right, so
we were talking
all right,
and
so-
everything.
Go ahead.
So-
Go
so
ahead,
look,
Cole.
so-
Go ahead, Cole.
Yeah.
so look, I just started listing all this shit over there.
Mhm.
So first, they say the moon is 238,900 miles away.
Damn.
All right, cool.
Precise.
I want to know, how did they figure that out? And why I'm saying that is because how did they know how much fuel to give this in order to make it out there? You know what I'm saying? Because we all been riding around and shit. And we done ran out of gas at one point in our life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying. So how did they know how to get this motherfucker that much fuel in order to
get there.
that's
To
what's
get there.
smart.
You know what I'm saying? So how I piggyback off that is, you know, in space or whatever they say,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's no oxygen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they say no gravity, all that bullshit, you know. So therefore it's like, okay, no gravity, so therefore you can't steer.
Okay.
You ain't gonna be able to steer, you just free floating. All right, so
But they use propulsion units to steer though.
okay, so cool. I knew you was gonna come to that.
I'm like a plane.
So that's why I went on ahead and said, nah, it's the whole thing about no oxygen. So then when you talk about like fire gotta exist, because you're talking about like using like some turbo boosters or something and shit like that, you need 3 sources in order to get the fire. You know what I'm saying?
You need air, oxygen.
You need oxygen,
and
you need a fuel
burnt
source,
fuel
and you need a spark.
So
So
without no oxygen,
so once again, it's like, how did y'all know how much fuel to give it? How did y'all know how much oxygen to pack on there? Because y'all need oxygen for you, and you need oxygen to
Scientists.
breaking it down, boy.
Scientists.
I'm saying,
all the way.
so none of that shit makes sense to me.
But we ain't scientists either. We
Man,
ain't rocket scientists.
But still,
But hold on, but
Unless
look,
they say stuff. It ain't
man,
rocket
I ain't
science.
giving them niggas
Rocket
that credit.
science
Fuck them
is-
niggas. Hey, look,
So you saying Hidden Figures is fake? The movie?
man, hell
Some
yeah,
sisters
man.
now, those some black sisters.
I don't give a
now you
fuck.
tell-
Fuck them
yeah, that's what our
motherfuckers.
history, man.
I don't give a fuck, man. Fuck them motherfuckers,
Yeah.
man. Oh,
Those
fake
some
ass
Roger
shit.
P. Henson.
Roger
She didn't
P.
figure that shit out.
We love
Whatever.
you. We hope to have you on the show one day.
yeah.
She ain't figured
But
that
she a
shit out.
scientist
Cole
now.
said that shit was bullshit.
Man, some
Damn.
bullshit, man. Because look at it like this. So the first time they decided to get out there, they was right. How come we don't hear no history about the first craft that they tried to send out there that motherfucker ran out of gas? Like, damn, we over, you know what I'm saying? We underestimated.
Why
You know what I'm
did-
saying?
why
I
they-
feel like it
they
was a
coulda
couple of-
overestimated- They could
Nah.
overestimate.
Huh?
They could overestimate.
Man, come on, man.
Ah.
No, I'm saying you can say that to me. They overestimated. Okay, cool. I back it up with this. How come when they on Earth and they take off to go to the moon,
Uh-huh.
it go like this, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so then when they landed, they didn't land like that. They landed like a plane. How did that motherfucker turn back up right and then shoot right up?
Cause they don't go, no, the rocket. So the rocket, because I ain't no rocket
Professor,
science, so I don't know
Professor
exactly
Drew
how this- I don't know
International
this
go break it
science.
down for everybody.
But the rocket that sends the ship out into the moon, it just gets them into orbit, and then once it gets into
then
orbit,
it turns
the
into
math. That's why they do these.
Okay.
That's why when they do these launches, they have to do them at a precise time where they calculate it when when they release this rocket from this ship from this rocket,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be in orbit, and then that momentum, along with the space, with the
Calculations.
the orbit of the
the
rotation
yeah.
of Earth and all that,
Mm-hmm.
that momentum will land precisely where they want it, where they're aiming at.
Okay,
And
look,
that's a
I
lot
can
of
take
science.
look,
So,
I can
you
take
know.
everything you saying, and the one thing that's gonna eat all that up is like, how do they know to apply that on the moon for them to get back to Earth? They ain't never been there yet.
There you go. Rocket
It's
science,
something to
man.
think about.
It
It's something
I
to think
mean,
about.
it's those good valid questions. I guess I just kind of like say, well, shoot, they smart enough to figure out how to get there. They
No,
smart
but
enough to
okay,
figure out
so
how to get
then
there.
my biggest thing, even talking about that, is the Van Allen belt.
What's the Van Allen belt?
Break it down for the people.
Break it down.
The Van Allen belt's supposed to be this invisible barrier that surrounds Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever.
That they said they haven't figured out how to break.
It's high radiation that they say they cannot get through.
But they said the moon is past that though.
Yeah, the moon is past that supposedly. You got to get through the Van Allen belt, you know what I'm saying, in order, you know what I'm saying, in order to make it there and all that, all these high temperatures, high radiation, yada yada. Okay, cool. So y'all got to pass through there once
Right.
to get there, and then pass back through it to make it back down to Earth.
That's tough.
I got it.
That's
They got
tough.
help from the aliens.
Yeah.
No,
Aliens-
so they're
they be the ET.
Everybody, them little
They
things
got-
from Mexico,
They're made
they
out of
help
They
Play-Doh.
us.
got help from the aliens, bro. Like you said, you said the government, the government been knowing about aliens all this time,
Yeah,
right?
I think they've been knowing for
They
a
might
long
have been,
time.
they might have negotiated a deal with them.
Like,
they got aliens on the payroll.
Y'all
Even-
take us
even
on
when you
a
look at,
field trip to the moon.
What's his name?
Yeah.
What's my man name that landed? Armstrong.
Armstrong.
Yeah,
Neil
so-
Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong. So then you look at the footprints, right? It showed like you can see the
ridges.
Yeah, you can see the ridges in the boots that he wore.
What is?
And then they got the whole costume on display like a museum.
And he ain't got no reasons in his boots.
He
No,
got flat boots.
Flat boots.
They smooth as fuck. It's like, come on, man. What? So y'all not lying?
He wore,
It's a lie somewhere.
So somebody
use-
put
they-
on some Jade when
They
they
wore
was up
the,
there.
they wore the songs out.
They put on some Air Jordan.
It's a
when they got
Jumpman
up
logo
there.
in the moon dust right now.
Hey, I'm just saying though, it's like all we gotta do is take the facts they give us. You know what I'm saying? And then just use it against them.
I might need to do some.
Hustle. You think we went to the moon, bro?
Huh? I don't think we did, man. Cause
It
and
just-
then like you can't even all this 4G and 5G now. How they were talking on the phone back and forth
Bro.
from NASA
Right.
up to the moon. Like how the hell
Satellite.
satellite?
But no, it's
That's a
a video
long-
of Richard Nixon. Was it Richard Nixon?
It was on the
Yeah,
telephone.
he was talking.
He
on
called
the
her from a
telephone.
landline.
Right.
On the landline.
What's the weather like up there?
Yeah.
That
Y'all
was
need
a-
some? Y'all good?
Y'all good?
Yeah.
No,
That is kinda
satellite
suspect.
technology. Satellite technology. Just because it's a landline don't mean the satellite that they didn't.
So you say it was like a
Gotta
delay.
answer for
It went to the
everything.
satellite.
just saying, don't
beamed the
give me-
message.
I'm
Yeah.
giving-
Okay.
Yo, on
I'm
the
thinking,
landline.
Like these questions can simply be answered by technology.
Just doing some homework.
But, all right,
they
so-
can- I don't know.
No, we
I don't know
Good. We ain't gonna
this to
spend
be
too much
true.
time on it.
I'm just
All right,
saying.
all
I think
This is a good one.
It's a good one right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
We can do a whole
We can
episode
talk
on this one.
Yeah.
All right, so you did. Hold on, that was your number 2.
Yeah, that was my number
Drew,
2.
we on your number 2.
Oh, I gotta go back to my.
Go ahead and pull your list up, man.
What you got, man?
Yeah, I might.
And you got the moon on your phone, bro.
9/11 was.
The moon is literally his screensaver.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the default.
No, the moon was mine for a long
That's
time.
the
though. I ain't gonna lie.
default.
That is the default. Apple,
Apple trying
Apple,
to make sure we
yeah,
know
we
was
know.
there.
Apple tried to tell us something.
No,
Got a clip
so my
picture.
number 2 was 9/11 was planned by the government.
Ooh,
Damn.
damn, boy.
Yeah.
What you
So what
think?
make you think that? Like
Who?
what?
I don't. No, you
Huh?
know what?
That gonna be
I told you none of these. I'm not the big conspiracy
So,
theorist.
so
but
do
I'm
you
saying
do you
these-
think that 9/11 was planned by the government or it was a
I-
natural terrorist attack?
I really don't know, but because I seen.
What you leaning more towards?
I'm kind of in the middle. I'm straight.
You on the fence about that
I'm
one?
on the fence about it.
Hustle,
But-
what you think? You think that it was a natural terrorist attack or they knew about this months and months in advance just so we can go to war and they can get rich?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on and say that. That's on my list too, so we can go on and
Oh, you want to go
tag
on it? That's your
team.
number 2?
That's my number 2
You been
too.
copying on my paper, bro?
Nah, it was, No, not
Same.
at all. But yeah, I
Hustle
think.
But you
9/11
got how you feel about it though? He
man,
on the
I
fence.
think it was rigged, man. It was fake. Even how George Bush looked when they came and told him he reading the kids
Reading that book
and
in
how
the
he
elementary
looked
school.
up.
Like, damn, they got
Like it finally done went through what we tried to plan, and it finally happened. So we can
George
go to
W
war.
was off the chain.
It was
man.
about money, man. It was
Now,
about
don't
money.
get me wrong. I ain't gonna say okay. So what I don't necessarily believe is
Mhm.
that they brought the U.S. government was behind bringing the towers down. Even though I've seen some stuff that support how
That theory.
it came
Yeah.
down as if dynamite was in it. But
Yeah.
I will say this: I do think George W. Bush knew that was a threat. I do think the government knew that the 9/11 attacks was a threat that could possibly come.
Mhm.
And when it happened, he was like, "Damn, these motherfuckers really did that shit." Like they called
damn,
it
they
bluff.
really,
Mhm.
man, this really happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do believe.
I thought they was
but
bullshitting.
Yeah.
I don't know
Right.
if we was behind that actually bringing down the Twin Towers.
So you think that you feel like it was it was a real threat that we could have prevented or we had prior knowledge of,
That
but that we wasn't really involved in as America, like
I
the
don't
U.S.
think
government.
we did it. I think I think
We knew about it.
We knew that it was a potential threat.
Cole, what you think about 9/11, man? Talk to me about that. Got
Man, so you trying to tell me?
it.
Hold on, Cole.
He started right out the
Cole,
gate.
hold on. Before you continue, did you start off saying you don't believe in conspiracy theories?
I don't call them conspiracy theories
He don't like that term.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
because I feel like it like
he
it-
want, he sound like he want,
Like what-
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's
like,
like-
Yeah.
I'm saying you use that term conspiracy theory. It usually like kind of, I feel like it invalidates, you know what I'm saying, what you saying or whatever, and they kind of
By titling it
It has a
conspiracy.
Yeah.
negative connotation.
It
Because,
does have a negative.
Yeah.
meaning,
but I mean, the words conspiracy theories though, that's legit a theory of a conspiracy. So
Yeah.
I mean,
It just overused.
But it's
Something
over-
that was
it's getting-
conspired.
yeah, it's,
And this is my theory on how they conspired to make this happen.
yeah.
Right,
It's
right.
like AI. Everybody say everything is AI. Everything ain't AI. Some stuff is just. I mean, everything can be AI, but they overuse the term AI.
AI.
Yeah, they throwing AI on
So,
everything.
yeah.
now.
So what you
saying,
did?
Cole?
like it's hard for me to think like to myself like these Middle Eastern men somehow turned Puerto Rican overnight and all that, and was able to be that efficient with a box cutter and nobody.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I forgot.
Because they were
Yeah.
cutting.
I forgot
Bro,
that they
they got box cutters,
they use
man.
box cutters.
Yeah, boy, that
And they
crazy.
took down the whole plane.
Damn, they
It-
did
it-
use
it's-
box
it's-
cutters. I
it's a
forgot
bo-
about
it's-
that.
It's a box cutter.
Took over
like,
the whole
come on,
plane.
bro.
Four,
Yeah.
four
So with a box
One
cutter,
of
they
them
was
is-
able to
four.
make everybody on the plane stay still, make the flight staff
There wasn't no real
keep
niggas
them
in
at bay,
Yeah.
gain entry into the flight
The
cabin,
cockpit. Yeah.
the cockpit with a box cutter.
Like
It just don't sound like
Yeah, it just sound bullshit. And then besides that, you see remember how they say they supposedly found out who did it, right?
Okay.
Remember they found
The people who
No, they found the IDs and the
Yeah.
rebel at the bottom. Like, come on, man.
like this shit's supposed to be burnt up or something.
I found the IDs, but not even besides that, man. You talking about these steel beams? These steel beams.
Yeah.
look at that. Look at that rocket.
Yeah, I expected to do that from the moon
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But you see these steel beams and all that, they're supposed to withstand so much, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's fire, whether it's earthquake, or whatever the case may be. You telling me that these steel beams got demolished by the wings of an aircraft? Like, come on, man.
No, the
It just went down like
They
that.
said the jet fuel
Yeah.
was
Jet fuel.
The jet fuel
Yeah.
was so hot, it
caused
burned.
so much.
But at the
But
sa-
you don't, yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I say, it's like, man, let's
go
just take
down like that.
let's just take the facts that they give us. All right, how hot do jet fuel burn at? It'll give you the number. All right, how hot does it have to be in order to melt steel beams? You know, or melt steel.
And it don't add up, dude.
It don't add up.
It don't add up.
So it's like, okay, so it didn't get that hot. So all right, you want to tell us something else? Just like one building fell over here because this is the one that supposedly got hit by the planes or whatever, but then the building back over there.
If
Because it was like 3 buildings. It was both of the
Yeah.
towers and
and
the
then the little
trade center build, not the trade center, but the
It was just one of the other buildings that was over there.
That was
Where-
over in the area.
part
Yeah.
of the trade.
There was a part of it though. It
Yeah.
was a part of the World Trade. It was like that.
that one
too.
fell. Yeah,
No plane hit that. You know what I'm saying? But that one fell.
Yeah, they were saying that
Well,
debris
it was
from one of the towers
Yeah.
fell. It's something to definitely
Yeah.
think about.
You're right.
It's something definitely. Y'all make sure y'all comment on this one because this has been around for
A long time,
20 years.
Yep.
A little bit over 20 years since it happened.
21 years.
21 years. So y'all make sure y'all comment.
Oh, hold on. What
Y'all
happened?
thoughts
It
on
was 01, so 22 years.
22 years.
Yeah.
22 years. Yeah,
But hey,
22.
you know what's crazy though about that though?
Talk to me.
All the people that died, you know what I'm saying, 9/11, you know what I'm saying, at that moment. And
Give
all
me
that.
cancel now.
Oh, no. Nah. I'm just saying, though. It's like, what stood out about those two IDs? Like, ain't no other wallets or purses fall down to the ground with nobody else ID? Like, why would those?
Why
Well, they
Yeah.
found, what was it, 1,000 people? They found 1,000 people.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they
The
IDs.
IDs. In the rubber.
Why was it
Oh,
that
they-
those? Why was it that
Oh.
these IDs that they
Oh,
found?
in the rub, you talking
raised
about
the red
the
flag
the
versus.
hijackers?
the hijackers.
Yeah.
You saying how, like, if
Why it wasn't burned?
Well, I
with
mean,
the
they might have
rubber
found
with
his
everybody-
everything?
They
IDs,
would've
but those are the
decided
two
whether
that they
a
released to the
victim
media.
or a
Yeah.
terrorist.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, why did those stand out so much?
Like he's saying, like, how they differentiate those IDs from the rest of those.
Passengers and
No,
Or people that might have
passengers or
died.
Victims that
Because remember what they was saying and stuff. Like when they start breaking it down, they researched these people. They found out that they took flight schools, I think, down in Florida and all that. I was like, what they take flight schools for? If they wanted the plane to crash.
they had to get it up.
well, they had to be
They
able
had
to
be
fly
able
the
to steer it.
plane.
They still had to steer it.
They had to fly, have some knowledge to be able to fly it and steer it into the buildings.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think you had to go to no flight school for that, man. Come on, man.
I won't-
Motherfucker
can't
already
put
up
me
in
on
there.
no
I
man.
mean, I wouldn't know what to do.
I mean, I know, I'm just saying, though. You
I
just-
wouldn't know what to do. I mean, if I got
I
the
would've
cockpit.
had that bitch in
Man, you
there.
ever seen the cockpit of? Well, I know you have. But man,
That's
I remember when I was
seen the
like,
cockpit.
I was
I
like
wouldn't- that shit look
7 or
like-
8, and they, it was my birthday, so they let me go in the cockpit. Boy, it had been like 1,000 buttons.
Man.
No, it is, but I'm just saying though, it's like still at the same time though, it's like, man, I wonder how much training they would have supposedly had to have to be able to like.
But
make
they
sure
didn't have that
got-
much though. They must have,
Okay,
they
right.
Didn't learn how to take off and land. They
I know.
just learned
How to steer.
Right. So now
They skipped
knowing,
that level.
skip
that part.
So
They
now
probably-
knowing,
they probably didn't show
We
up.
ain't-
hey, but
Yeah,
look
we
though,
ain't
so
taking
now
out, we ain't
knowing
landing.
how fast they was
That should have been a
going,
red flag. Like,
they
you don't
told
wanna have
themselves
a-
No,
automatic.
no.
I mean, well, you know what I'm saying? It was like automatically known that they knew, like, hey, put all your trust in me. I know for a fact I can hit the target. It was like, and they ain't like shoot past it by accident or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It was like, that was
Right.
accurate, just dead spot on. Like, bam, hit the target. Bam, hit the target. And just minimal experience.
It's definitely.
It's deep, man.
And then when they go to flight school, they ain't learning how to fly. No 747s or 757s or nothing like that. They flying like little Cessnas or something like,
Mhm.
you know, little small planes or
But-
whatever. The
but-
controls are totally different. I'm gonna say totally different.
The
but
controls
you
are
gotta do?
different, but they are similar enough where those
can catch on?
they're similar enough. Like the stern, you know,
Y'all
all
both in
that,
the airline
and
industry.
you know, there's some similarities enough where you might not know all of the controls and how to maneuver the entire cockpit, but you got enough information
To make it happen.
to make it happen.
Okay. That's like I said. Make sure y'all comment, give us y'all thoughts and y'all views on this, man.
Let
'Cause
us know.
this is another whole episode right here that
Yeah,
9/11 can get real deep, man.
Yeah, man.
We gotta
And
move
you know,
on.
shout out to all the families that lost somebody in there. It was tragic.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah,
man.
100%.
Yeah, it was a very tragic event, man.
Yeah.
Who went?
it's,
That was-
It's you
it's on-
now.
Well,
It's on me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
he
they-
was-
Because your number 2.
they shared theirs.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had one
Did you do
past
yours?
9/11.
Yeah, he did it first.
Okay, you did yours first. Okay, so
Yeah,
my
it's
number
yours,
2.
You just don't want to go.
No, I'm about to go.
You about to go. Go on out there.
I'm
Jump
ready to
on
go.
out there.
My number 2 conspiracy theory that I think is upon us right now is and that's been upon us for some time is I think that time travel exists. And let me dig a little deep into to why I feel like that. It kind of stemmed back from a lot of footage that we've seen over the years, going all the way back. I think some of the craziest footage was like from the 20s or the 30s. It was an old Charlie Chaplin movie, and it was a lady that was in the background. That, yeah, she wasn't even part of the movie. She was on a cell phone in like the 30s, and she didn't know she was being filmed, and she was just in this black and white 1930s movie where they didn't even have. They were just playing the music. You know, the movies when they just play the music and there wasn't no vocals, no speech, or nothing. They just show like a black screen that say what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It was that, and then the lady walking in the background with a cell phone didn't even know she was on the phone, like being recorded. And in addition to that, it's a lot of footage of people like historic events or certain time frames where people standing in the background that just do not belong there. Like it's a picture of, I think, the Great Depression in like the 40s.
Mm.
And it's a dude standing. You seen that picture?
You got Jay-Z in the back.
You said
God.
Jay-Z.
No, it's a
Oh, you
dude.
talking about dude look like
Yeah,
Jay-Z
no,
with
it's
a suit on. Yeah.
That's another one though. That's a good one. But
Yeah.
no, it's like it's like the Great Depression, and it's a lot of people standing in line. They got all these 1940s clothes on, the little hats and 1940, and it's a white dude with some lokes on, like what you got on.
No.
Man, I got to show you the picture, bro. And he got a black T-shirt with a lightning bolt on, and he just standing in the background, like just there amongst all these people dressed in like he's like standing in the background, like looking like he's just taking it all in. And another real good one that y'all can Google this too, and I'm be done with after this.
Yeah.
The fight when Mike Tyson fought, I want to say it was who did he fight? It was an old Mike Tyson fight from like the mid '90s, when he had first came home from prison.
Shout out to Tyson.
Shout out
Yeah.
to the OG. We got you
Oh,
in the
yeah.
front. We're gonna talk about that at the end.
Oh yeah.
But it's an old Tyson fight from like the mid '90s, and somebody got a camera phone in the background in the audience. And they're taking a picture, and the flash is on, and that was way before
Really?
all that. Yeah, somebody in the audience like with a camera phone, like taking the picture, like at an old Tyson fight from like the early mid '90s. So that's.
Man.
I think time travel exists, man. It's like a lot of skeptical.
You sure it was a cell phone?
It looked like a cell phone.
Look like
It like a cell phone. It like a cell phone.
Hey man.
It's something to think about, man.
Something.
I think they got the technology available. I think it's only available to people with a certain income or people at a certain status.
Right.
I mean, a lot of our technology though is way,
iPhone
I'm
in
pretty
the 30s.
okay, man.
iPhone been out since the
It
60s.
wasn't on the market, but I'm saying a lot of
Okay.
our technology, especially like NASA, and they have a lot of our technology way before we even knew about it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But
That's
you
true.
I mean, I ain't saying that iPhone in the '90s or
I gotta show you that picture. That picture look crazy.
I got to
or a
see
cell
that.
phone with
Man.
a flash in the '90s with a camera actually, because camera phones was camera phones. When camera phones come out?
Man, it's a
Ooh, in the
It
early
look-
2000s.
it's like
mid
it's like that.
Yeah.
And the dude he like in the front of the second row, and his hand is up, and the flash is on. You can see it's like right with the flash, and he's just shining it, like filming it, watching it. And they showed the video to Tyson. They interviewed Tyson. It was like, Tyson, did you know it was a time traveler at one of your fights? He was like, man, what are you talking about? You don't know time traveler in my fight. And then they showed the footage of Tyson. Tyson was like, yeah, that dude look kind of crazy. But now when y'all Google the cell phone at Tyson's fight when y'all get finished watching this, man.
Hey man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
Talk to
I'm
me.
be all the way real with you.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you got me scared, bro.
Hey,
I think
man.
when I pull up out of here,
It
gonna be two black Suburban following me, man. What going
They is
on?
not gonna like what they hear when we talk.
Oh,
Wait till
man,
when you hear
we
my
getting
number
too
one.
deep.
We ain't even did our number ones
Bro, you
yet.
getting too deep with it.
We
now,
might need
man.
to cut it off before we get to the number one.
Yeah, boy.
it might
The-
be edited.
We need to get to the number one.
Still gonna start glitching. In
Yeah,
a minute.
yeah.
Lights gonna start flickering. What the hell going
If they cut
on?
this video, y'all know why. If they take the video off YouTube, y'all know why. Cause we drop some gems on
I'm
y'all.
gonna cut this video because y'all ain't gonna get me in trouble.
Hey, embrace it, bro.
Hey, it is what it
Yeah,
is, man.
boy.
Well, shoot, we done did our number threes.
Twos.
We done did our number twos.
Yup.
Let's drop these number ones on the people, man. Let's drop them if they ready. If
Hustle.
y'all ready.
It's on hustle.
Drew, you first.
So hold on, you did your number two first,
Yeah, I
right?
did. Yeah, it's on
All right, let's
hustle.
go back down.
Hustle.
Now hustle. You gotta take your time with this.
That's me.
Your number one conspiracy theory that you willing to fight a nigga about if he disagree with it.
I'm gonna let Drew fight over
Exactly.
it.
Go-
me.
He on him.
Go
first.
ahead,
But
Drew.
I ain't finna. Well, like I said, I don't believe in none of these. But
He just don't want no bourbons
my
following him when he
number
leave
one-
here.
No, my number one, and I actually don't believe in this one at all. But it's one of the biggest
I know what he about to say.
controversial. What you do?
Oh, you about to say the
Just go ahead.
Go on and get it
Yeah,
off
I
the
already
chest,
know
Drew.
what
Go
you
on and get it
about
off
to
the
say.
chest.
The existence of the Illuminati.
Oh, I wasn't thinking that.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
That is
You gonna
the-
have 3 bourbons following you.
Yeah.
What? For real.
Do y'all believe?
He mentioned us.
That's all it
Do
takes.
y'all believe that there's a secret society called the Illuminati that has all this power and controlling the world, and then they recruiting Jay-Z's and
Beyonce's
Drake
and Drake's and
and
Doja Cats. Oh my
yeah.
God.
Doja Cat in there?
I don't her videos like
And-
she like they lead
And
spokesperson.
Kanye West in there too.
Oh, the Illuminati,
Probably got
Illuminati.
kicked out now.
Hustle, let's start with you, man. What's talking about Illuminati?
Oh, I
What
don't
you think?
believe that at all, bro. I'm gonna
think
keep
it's all
short and
bullshit?
sweet. Yeah, man. It got to be. It got to be,
You already know I
bro.
don't
Like
believe
who controlling the Illuminati? Like who's in control of this?
It's got to be
A governing like. I
Well,
guess
you know,
it's
they say,
still
like-
with a
like the
official-
Rothschilds and
The people that own the
they,
banks.
you know,
and
they had
got all the money.
that meeting every year. The Bilderberg, what's it called?
Mhm.
The
Bilderberg
is it
Group.
Bilderberg?
Bilderberg Group. Yeah.
The Bilderberg Group meeting where all the elites meet. They say that Oprah Winfrey be going and doing her thing. She be part of the meeting. I don't know how true that is, but I have heard that. But it's the Bilderberg Group. They said like all the elites. They all meet at this special place once a year and talk about how they gonna operate the world.
Mm.
Google the Bilderberg Group, man. You might not be able to find a lot of
Bilderberg.
info about it, but it's out there
Yeah, I saw a couple of documentaries about
about the Bilderberg Group.
So let me ask you this. Okay.
Talk
So
to me.
it's not only the United States.
It's the world.
It's the
this
world.
is
So
the
why the
world.
world be fighting in World War One, World War Two?
That's part
If
of
it's
all
a-
they plan. That's their war is part of their plan.
It's part of their plan.
They got to keep us
Okay.
divided because they don't want us joining together, and they can control us. I'm just giving the.
Oh, go ahead with it. No, I want to hear.
They
No,
can
that's good.
control us
Yeah.
by having us, separated, and
Okay.
and they manipulate the fights. They don't actually coordinate them.
Mm-hmm.
They manipulate.
They
them.
manipulate.
They started. They throw the rocks and run.
So like almost like world peace is the last thing they want. If all the countries was to just unite and be on the same page and share our resources and they share their resources,
Mm-hmm.
it'll almost be too good to be true. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe in it, but I'm just saying if that would be a motive to why they would,
incorporate the things that they so
war
called
and all
incorporate.
that. Yeah.
Cole, what you think about this Illuminati, man?
No, I mean the label Illuminati. That's some more off camera shit for me to even explain. But
Okay.
that shit too long. But
Had 4 bourbons.
but I think, but I
Yeah.
think it's a reason why that they came up with that name Illuminati and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Do I believe in it? Yeah. Why I believe in it is more so like like they say like the 1%, controls it all and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all like in the reason behind why they would do it or whatever. Let's look at it like on some simpler shit, I guess, like population control. How you control the population. You know what I'm saying? Because you think about stuff like United Nations. All these
Okay.
nations come together, and they all represent different countries. You know what I'm saying? From different continents and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But at the same time, they all get together to formulate a plan.
Mhm.
Like y'all individuals. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all formulating a plan together? What plan are y'all coming up with? So if y'all actually coming into an agreement on something, it has to be a global, you know what I'm saying, if you want to say it like that,
Right.
type of plan that y'all all agree with. And it's like, hey, man, we got to move forward on this type of note and stuff like that. So that's why it allows for each country, you know what I'm saying, to do certain things in a certain manner,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, because it doesn't give us that much access, you know what I'm saying, into a sense or whatever like that. There's always somebody on top of the next, you know what I'm saying, or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying. This dollar is more than that dollar, you know what I'm saying.
Propaganda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, 100% or whatever like that. So I'm gonna say that's the only reason why I believe
But that's
believe
part
in
of
it. Yeah, part of it or whatever like that, because all of this shit is done for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And like,
So you don't. So
Nah,
do you believe in Illuminati?
yeah.
So you do believe. So he leave.
You believe there's a secret society.
I don't think it's a secret society.
Oh no, I
don't.
So,
So-
you, all this
I
kill
don't,
music
bruh.
that they force into the black community, you think is
But
by-
is it really a secret society though?
I say,
I just think it just is right. It's in our face.
So
It
who
ain't
you
no
think
secret
control all
society.
that? Like who controls? Because if you really dig deep on it, like it's like only like a handful of people that control all of the TV we watch, all of the music we listen to. Like who are they? Because they in the shadows. Like who are they
You
and
think
why are they?
really in
Why
the
are they?
shadow?
Yeah, they in the shadows.
Okay.
Like Viacom, they pretty much own every television network that you BET, MTV. They Viacom own all of them,
Right.
and they own most of the music that's having black folks want to spin out on each other and got their drakes and they drums and they feeding it to us.
Right.
Like if it's not the Illuminati, who is it and why are they fleshing this onto certain communities of people?
It's not even. I don't even look like they just flush it on to certain communities. They
What
put
they
it
doing?
on. They put it on all of us. If you ain't them, it's getting put on you. You know, and this like what's that thing? Let's say like that the whole Willie Lynch. Like,
Willie Lynch, yeah.
and stuff like that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's supposed to target our culture and stuff like that. You know, turn men against women, light against dark, strong against
Now,
weak,
that
and
is
all
true.
of that or
That's
whatever like that.
deep.
Definitely.
That's
You know what
real
I'm
right
saying?
there.
So,
Yeah.
so even when you look at it something like that, it's like, okay, that's just for one culture. What do you think they're doing for everybody? Because I can tell you like this, like we done all seen like redneck or poor white trash, you want to call it like that, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't necessarily like it's a system set up only for whites to prevail and blacks to fall. Because trust me, they don't give a fuck about all these white people out here. You know what I'm saying? They care about their people and stuff like that. That's why
And
you
they're
even,
1%.
yeah, and that's why you even hear stuff about incest. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Yeah, they keep
yeah,
that family bloodline
they,
strong.
they want to keep it private and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I believe to myself that it's a lot of it that, you know, it's a systematic plan that they got in order and stuff like that. Is to keep everybody against each other in some way, some form of fashion and shit like that. And majority of people out there, over 90%, eat it up. You know what I'm saying? And they just go along with the plan and like, no, we can't do that. And it's like, but if we actually decided, like, you know what? Because like people be like, you know what I'm saying? If we got rid of a government or something like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how we gonna have our lights on? How we gonna get water? It's like, man, ain't y'all the same motherfuckers doing the jobs right now?
You better go deep with it.
Just go do the shit. Turn the shit on. You know what I'm saying? It's like
turn it on.
yeah, it's like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We the actual workers. We know how to do it. We know how to filter the water. We know how to filter the air. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, you have the skills to do it. Just do it. It ain't necessarily these governments in any of these countries that's giving you the access or the knowledge in order how to do it. You know what I'm saying? You know it already. Pass it on down to your children and so forth and so forth.
Make it
you know
happen.
what I'm saying? And yeah, just make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and live. You know what I'm saying?
That's an episode.
Yeah, cool.
That's definitely an episode.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, they following all us tonight.
Yeah, they go.
I think
So-
it's on. Hold on, DJ.
They pulling up,
No,
huh?
yeah, DJ.
It's on
It's
me.
on you, DJ.
All right, my last and final one, man. Slavery ain't really what you think it is.
Oh my God. His matter of fact, at the end of this episode, his IG gonna take up the whole screen.
No.
No.
Man, nah.
Slavery was a choice. Dog.
Nah,
Oh
not
my
that.
God.
Not that, man.
You got to elaborate on that.
No,
man.
yeah.
That was gonna
I
be
was-
my number 2.
Oh, it was.
That slavery. So you saying, wait a minute? You said slavery is not really what we think it was.
Nah, man. So
So
where
what
the
was-
slave
That was
ships?
sarcasm, by the way.
You
Bro.
said where was the slave?
Where
ship?
are the slave ships?
Exactly.
I think black people was already here, man.
All
We
of
was
us-
already here.
All of us.
So you telling me they took millions and millions of slaves from Africa and brought them to America? What are slave ships?
So you think we was here with Native Americans, Indians?
Yeah, nigga,
We
they-
are
they was
Native
out- We are
Americans.
that. We that.
Damn. What you think, Drew?
Yeah, think deeply. What you got?
That's like
I-
real deep.
No, so I don't
was here.
completely disagree with you, but I do believe there was slave ships and there was a such thing as the African slave trade, and
Mhm.
I do think a lot of us that we consider African Americans because of our physical look.
Right. But look, let
got
me say this
looped
though.
in with the
Go ahead.
real
Do we look like
African-American-
Africans?
Depending on what part of Africa is a whole continent.
I know.
So
We
So-
don't necessarily.
You can go to certain parts of Africa.
It's some
and
people
find
look like
that-
Africans now.
It's yeah.
I mean, no. I mean,
Like
I'm not saying. Now, what you mean by look like Africans?
Like,
It's
it's-
the stereotypical African, but that's, Africans
like-
don't have a look. That's what I'm saying.
They kind of do,
Africans
bro.
don't have one.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
If
I
you
said
go
they
to
came out
different
wrong.
regions of Africa- If you go to different regions of Africa, you'll get
Yeah, it's
different
all
types
different
of because if you go to
shades
Morocco,
and-
Morocco is Africans, but Morocco is a very mostly fair-skinned people, and you go to
So is Egypt. So is Egypt though.
Right. If you go to
That's
Egypt,
different
there's first,
because
but
nowadays-
Egypt has a lot of Roman influence though, so you can't
'Cause it's right at
those
the
are-
top
Exactly.
of
Well, they
Yeah.
say we came from the western
Yeah,
part.
The western part
Do
of
we look like the western part
Africans.
of
The
Africa?
Nigerians.
I mean,
and the,
well, hold on, you gotta ask yourself this.
Yeah.
Like when you look at pictures of slaves, like original
Yeah,
slaves,
original
they
slaves.
look African. They look like that that authentic,
But that's what
darker skin.
I just think the
Horsehair.
bloodline was more pure though that back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
because we
Yeah,
talking
they
about like
integrated.
200 years
we did
later.
get raped
Yeah.
by
By the slave
our ancestors
masters.
got raped by slave masters. And
So
stuff
that
like
bloodline had
But
been
I
watered
don't-
down a little
I
bit.
don't completely disagree. I do believe that a lot of the Native Americans, they all don't look like how they depict Native Americans. I feel like some of the Native Americans were people that would be identified as black people today.
Okay.
You
Okay.
see like them pictures of them original Native Americans, man, they dark as hell.
They
They
dog,
dark,
man.
they
And
dark.
then you hear that thing, like you see
Y'all
like
gonna
more
get us
common
Kyrie
Native
up there.
Americans.
Yeah,
Man.
the truth.
You see the more Native Americans, like the more recent Native Americans. I mean,
They lighter.
They lighter. And then you
Right.
heard about that little thing that they had going on called the $5 Indian and all that, where in order to get like reservation lands or whatever, they would let white people pay $5 in order to register themselves as Native American.
That's why you got all these white people running around saying they Native American. They're Indian. You ever
Mhm.
noticed
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
You ever seen that before?
Yeah, I've seen that.
I seen the
before.
whitest dude in the world wearing feathers and everything, saying he was Native American. I'm like, I know
right. Ain't got
No,
a-
he had
got
like
a-
the full
a ounce of
chief,
blood.
the full chief thing on saying that he was
Yeah, man.
Native. I'm like, man, how in the world did that happen?
But on the
so that
whole-
got that tie into what
Yeah,
you're talking
but
about.
on that whole slave thing though, it's like I agree with you, bro. I don't believe that shit.
Nah, ain't
And-
no way.
You don't think none of us came up on boat?
Bro, look, I'm gonna look at it like this. Let's make it make sense.
But why
Okay,
was
so
that
y'all built the ship.
Right.
Y'all packed Africans in the bottom of it like sardines
How we
and
made
all of that.
it. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, you know what I'm saying?
UFO,
Like-
UFO.
like
There you go. Right there, sir.
it's like in order to get from over there, from Africa to America, it took a long time.
30
bro.
days.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It took a long time. So now we talking about the fact of, okay, y'all got to feed them. You know what I'm saying? So how did y'all pack enough food for them? You know what I'm saying? Even
On
if
the
you
same
But
eat
no,
both,
did you see what they was feeding them though?
I'm saying
They were just feeding them bread and fish.
So how do they survive?
That's good. That's
They-
good. I
okay.
thought
No, they was
a
like
little slop there.
catching fish out of the ocean
Yeah.
and chopping it up and putting grain and stuff in and just feeding them that mixture.
okay. But I'm saying,
And you know it
cool.
wasn't seasoned because it was white people.
Yeah, but here we go. Hey, his IG go be his IG go be there.
Y'all boys
I promise you that.
But I'm
He said
saying,
it wasn't
I
seasoned because
promise.
white people made.
But look,
Yeah.
let's make it
Okay.
make more sense though. All right. They need fluids. They need, you know what I'm saying, some water. How did they drink water?
They wasn't drinking ocean water. They
Eh,
wasn't all
exactly.
died.
Yeah.
Okay, but listen, I'm only talking about the slaves now. But let's talk about the crew that's on that. What food did they eat?
You don't
You know
think they
what I'm
brought barrels of water?
First of all, hold on.
Man, how many barrels of water you gonna bring for 30 days? So account for the weight at the bottom of this boat
Yep.
that's filled with all these slaves packed in like sardines. And then you gotta amount to the crew weight. You gotta amount for the water that they brought for themselves. That they
Crazy,
can drink
ain't
and the food for themselves.
Yep.
But look, it ain't that deep because slave ships were not just slave ships; they were merchant ships. But when they transported slaves, the merchandise on it, when they were
The
transported,
merchandise was the
was
slaves.
the slaves. So
They were built to hold a lot of people,
they were built to hold a lot of merch,
or hold a lot of
merchandise and people.
Trying not to
Yeah.
say merch.
Merch.
I'm talking about
Yeah,
slaves.
merch. That's what it was, merch. They were merchant ships.
Hey,
I,
Yeah,
I,
about your
I get
answer.
what you're saying or whatever, you know.
I'm saying
Last
that's what
show
they
right
looked
here.
at us as
This is the
property.
last
Well,
show.
listen.
They looked at us
This
as
it.
they looked at us as merchandise.
merch.
But for 30 days, they up on the ship, they shitting,
Throwing up,
pissing, throwing up. like all these diseases. They ain't have shots back then. Where you
But
give a slave
but they
a
were saying
shot.
that they would lose probably half of their load each trip.
Right, so
and they would
millions-
they
how
would
many
tie them
black
together. They
people-
So
would
that sound like
they
a
would
bad
chain them together and
investment.
throw them overboard.
Right, so how
Yeah,
many
not to get
black
enough
people
That
were they
sound
able
that
to
sound like
get
a bad
over here?
investment. Like,
Well, you had to
If
go,
half of them died, you mean to tell me they brought millions of slaves over here?
Mm,
Millions. If half of the ship died bringing them over here, you don't think they be like,
Or
damn,
or better,
man, this don't make
better
sense.
yet, when they was going to go
That means
capture
he coming back
them,
with
you
none
don't
of
think nobody got away to the point where when they came back to return to come and grab some more, that everybody was on game like hell no.
We
You know
ain't
what I'm
But
going
no, it was
for
the
it.
bla- it
Well,
was
no,
it was
but-
other black people that
yeah,
was
because that's
Yeah,
why
yeah,
tricking
I
them
mean,
into going, saying
but
that they had.
a
stuff
lot of
for
the, a lot
But
of the slaves were not, especially the ones that were inland. Those tribes that were inland, they were not going white. Because once the whites started to go into Africa, a lot of them was dying from diseases because they weren't
They,
you know, their immune
it's
system
a
couldn't
different.
So they was hang out mostly on the coast and conquer a coastal tribe or make a deal with a coastal tribe
to go get.
to say, hey, you go bring us this amount, and they'll go. Those African tribes was going and bringing them their they had rival tribes. They go conquer them.
I know, I get it,
Imprison
but I'm
them
saying,
people
but
and
let's
sell them
make
out
it
to-
make a little bit more sense. What were they giving them? Like we can,
Guns.
They was giving them guns,
okay,
firearms.
but okay, but they was
They
giving
didn't
them
have
guns
guns.
and then later on returning to them. You know what I'm saying, and like conquering them.
I mean, I went there, but
So
I
they
mean, right. I know. I'm just saying. I just be trying
No,
to
that makes
add.
sense. That
I be
makes
trying to
sense.
add clues together. Like, dog, this shit don't make sense because it get to a point where it's like, hold on, why they only doing this
a
to
lot
us?
of movies
Like,
I saw. A lot of movies I saw
Mhm.
about the African slave trade or documentaries, whatever. A lot of them were, like I said, they were mostly deals. They were deals where, like I always say this: the only reason the African slave trade and Europeans were able to conquer Africa, and you know, because they actually colonized all of Africa at some point,
Right.
was the fact that Europeans had guns and firearms and Africa didn't. I mean, that was.
but you know, I ain't gonna not to cut you off. It's really hard for me to believe that the Europeans became so more advanced than the Africans. You know what I'm saying, when it came to technology, simply for the fact that Africans is the one that taught them how to bathe, how to come
They
up
taught
with soap.
Europeans how to bathe.
They just taught
Mhm.
Europeans how to bathe. European was living with their animals.
Animals, yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, they was
I
living
ain't
with
really
their
saw
animals,
it.
yeah.
Popped in my head.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's
bro.
deep.
Yeah, man.
That's deep.
So,
Okay.
Y'all can't create soap and know how to cleanse yourself and know how to live, bro.
But y'all can orchestrate a massive
Yeah.
human trade across the coast.
It's like when we find some of the oldest tools, you know what I'm saying, in history of people like that, like, oh damn, this was a shovel, or this was a knife, or this was a bowl, or whatever like that. You ain't finding none of that in Europe. You finding all of that in Africa.
Africa.
So it's like,
But they came up with the guns, you said. And how
They built guns.
no. What I'm saying is that probably up some point in time, yeah, down the line or whatever, yeah, they was able to create guns and all that. I definitely believe that. But I'm saying for them to be the forefathers of, you know what I'm saying, artillery, like in that sense, it's like, come on, man, I don't believe that. Y'all sound, they were the prehistoric ones, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dog, y'all civilization is so many millions or thousands of years, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Africans had,
Supposedly ahead.
younger than ours or whatever.
Right.
No, not ahead. They were
Yeah.
younger than us.
But they was able to create. That's a good question.
That's a good
How-
question.
How did they develop
That's a good question.
cannons and all that before the Africans? When
Right.
the Africans.
And we were here first.
existed
Yeah, it's like, dog, what the fuck?
way
we were the
before
first
the
people here.
Europeans.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And so,
Let's lock in on that.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
another episode.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
So that was your number one.
That's my number one, man.
I gave my
We
number
was
one.
here.
Who was your number one?
here.
The Illuminati.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cole, what's your
Oh,
number?
shit.
What's your number one? Oh Lord Jesus!
You already know what it is.
I already know what it is. I want people to hear.
He said,
Go ahead.
My number one, the earth is not round. It is flat.
oh, shit. Here we go.
He said, "Oh shit."
And
Hey.
on that note,
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
let y'all handle something.
Sit down, put your seatbelt on. Like,
All right.
Buckle up.
Try to as fast as you can, but as thorough as you can.
mhm.
Give us your reasoning on why you think the Earth is flat as a
Pancake.
pancake.
Oh, so I ain't say all that.
No, he just saying it's flat. I
Yeah.
threw
Yeah.
pancake out there.
Yeah.
They got mountains.
Tell us about the Earth, man. Tell us about the Earth.
it's just certain things that I go along with, and then it gives me an understanding. Like, damn, like that shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? For one, liquids. Every liquid has one major characteristic about it.
Okay.
It's self-leveling.
Okay.
No matter what, I don't care what you got, whether it's oil, whether it's water, some liquor, whatever.
Whatever
what I'm
you
saying?
pour it in, it's gonna level out itself.
It's self-leveling.
Okay.
Or whatever. That liquor in them bottles right there, straight across the top, self-leveling.
Right.
Ain't none of y'all ever heard of a lake getting frozen over in the winter and somebody went on that shit with some ice skates and somehow went downhill. Like, oh shit, I can't stop. You know what I'm saying? Because this was a hill of ice.
Hell, shit, I can't stop.
You know what I'm saying? It was always leveled out. It was always a flat surface and shit like that.
Hold on. So what about the ice that's on mountains in the Himalayas that's going down?
I mean, but that's a little different because you're talking about what the surface of another structure is or whatever that got ice on it. That's something totally different.
I see what you're saying.
But I'm
Okay,
saying,
I see what you're
as
saying.
far as like
Lakes and oceans.
liquids take the shape of whatever it's placed in. You know what I'm saying? So whether you got a cup, a sink, a bathtub, a pool, a pond, a lake, an ocean,
It's all flat.
it's all flat. It freezes over.
Relatively flat.
No, it's flat. You can go and take a ruler and let that shit freeze and then sit a ruler right on top. It's going to be straight across no matter what. That's why even from Russia to Alaska or whatever, when they doing like them shits. Remember that show like Ice Road Truckers?
Yeah.
How are they able to drive across this fucking ice? Come on, let's make sense of it. Because at any point of that shit, if that shit went downhill or something like that, they ain't fucking stopping. Ain't no brakes about to
It's
stop.
been some episodes that they've been sliding.
No. I'm saying they've been sliding. You know what I'm saying? Because they probably trying to stop or something. Because you on ice. But I'm saying it was never a point where they was.
He's
It
saying
was.
like if it was the Earth was curved, they should be driving. And
Yeah, it should be a
And then when they get on the down part of the earth, it should be like almost
my answer to that
Yeah.
is the size of the Earth. When the curvature is so,
immense.
it's because you spreading that curve so long. It's not. It appears flat, but like it's not like the Earth is a couple miles long. It's a huge planet. So yeah, it measures out. It measures out flat from here to here. But if you did that across the entire globe, then yeah, you would get curvature.
I hear what you're trying to say, but the one thing that's
I
gonna
don't know the
always.
scientific term.
No, I get what you're saying, but the one thing that's gonna always throw that shit out the window is adding in the liquid, because when you talk about the oceans, like water, not just water, liquids is gonna take the shape of what it's in. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, and the surface of it is always gonna level itself out. The same reason why builders use levelers when they build. It's
With a little water bubble in it.
yeah, it's always gonna level out, no matter what. So when I so
I got a question. Go ahead.
Go
let me
ahead.
ask you this, Cole. So if you put water in a balloon, what shape will it take? It's gonna be flat.
I'm saying at the bottom of it, it's gonna take the shape of the balloon. It's gonna be curved, but
Okay.
then inside the balloon, if it ain't filled all the way up to the top, or even let's say it is filled all the way up to the top in a
Is it gonna
sense,
be
because
flat at the top?
because it's still a little bit of air. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's gonna be in there, so you're gonna have that little space at the top. That top is gonna be flat,
Right. So if
and no matter which way you turn that balloon, that water's gonna level out within that balloon.
right, cause the balloon is round, right?
Yeah.
So if the water's flat in the round balloon, ain't that the same thing as like Earth?
Of course not,
Oh,
because because
Hold on.
Because the Earth is
So what he's saying, hold on,
I get what he's saying 100%.
Yeah.
what about if you put water in a balloon and you freeze it, and then you just pop the balloon on the outside?
I mean, but
okay, well, no, it's the froze.
No.
Okay, no, that's
it's
different.
not
That's
it's not
That's
even a
different. It's
liquid no
frozen.
more.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's solid
It's
now.
solid now.
Solid.
to
Yeah.
Kobe's point. What if you put Earth on the outside of a balloon? Because that's what the Earth.
Yeah,
the
they
balloon
was
is-
saying that. Yeah,
You
the
say
out-
in a balloon, but the water is really on the
On the
surface
outside.
of the Earth. So if you have to pour water on the surface of the Earth, y'all got me hot now.
No,
That's
bro.
what-
I get where you're going with it.
The water is within the Earth, so that's why it's flat, cause it's within the globe, right? It ain't outside of the boundaries of Earth.
No, what the water is on the outside of the earth. I mean, we talking about just like
Yeah.
around.
But
I
you
gotta
got
go
me
back to
confused.
school.
Listen,
like
I
hell,
listen. I
bro.
get what all y'all trying to say
You see what I'm
or
saying?
whatever.
The
But
water
Okay, hold on,
thick.
hold on. Besides water, what
Wa-
makes you think it's flat?
okay, besides the water.
But I got a question when you finish.
All right, what else make me think it's flat? So when they talk about like you was talking about like the curvature or whatever, they say like when you look at a horizon or
You
whatever,
should
right?
see-
You know what I'm saying? But the horizon, they said we only can. The horizon looks like that to us because we only can
only
see
so far.
3 miles far
Right.
Yeah.
and all that. So then that's what I remember for so many years longer than humans have existed, or as the longer. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying it wrong.
I see
For
what you're saying.
majority of the time humans have existed,
Mhm.
they believe that the Earth was flat.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It wasn't until Christopher Columbus.
Okay.
Remember, it was like
and we know he lied.
it was like
Man.
it's like he thought that he was
Big
about to
time,
fall off
big
the
time,
edge
man.
of the earth and all of this shit because it was like, oh man, look, the ship is going over. You know what I'm saying, and all of that. So when they even went on ahead and debunked that or whatever, they looked at the ship. It looked like it was going over the curve, and then they zoomed in with a lens or whatever, and then it came back into view. It's just your eye can only see so far. But let's make it make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't flat earthers theory or whatever and saying that, oh, you only can see so far and it's only 3 miles. This is what scientists or whatever that believe in the globe earth, this is their theories. You know what I'm saying? This is their science, they supposed facts, and saying it only goes 3 miles that you can see, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. We all have been to a beach before, right?
Yep.
Okay, you know, all looked out there and saw that horizon, right?
Right.
And you done seen that horizon. It was a straight flat line, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We know if we actually went to what our eyes can see from this side of the horizon to that side of the horizon, it's way more than 3 miles.
True.
So that shit's probably like about a good 100 miles. Let's just make it that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Where
saying?
I can see on the sand.
Especially
to-
you
Right.
looking at the sun rising.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So from this end, from the right side of you to what you can see to the left side of you which you can see, it all appears, look, just like that. Look at that shit.
Oh, it just showed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Man,
saying? But it all shows it, you know what I'm saying? You sitting there
had-
looking at this shit, it's like, dog, how come I don't see no bow effect to it? I should see some of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a
Let's go.
question.
Go ahead, Cole. I mean, I'm calling you Cole. Go ahead, Drew.
Drew
So
International.
if the Earth is flat, how can you get to Europe and Asia from the East Coast or the West Coast of the U.S.?
So they had videos about that shit. People was going on ahead and they was showing how flights travel. You know what I'm saying?
Now hold on.
All right.
He do flight.
I'm just a scheduler. I'm not a.
Oh, okay.
No,
But you still got some
I don't
idea.
know.
Okay, go ahead.
But
Go
you
ahead.
know,
Go
don't
ahead.
matter.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? The thing is it goes from it's never a path of it flying over an ocean into something. It always shows it going up. It's traveling through all of these.
Some of the flight plan, the flight
Yeah,
route.
you know what I'm saying? Like if you're going from the bottom of South America, but yet you want it to end up in, you know what I'm saying? Let's say, I don't know, fucking Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever like that.
So you're gonna fly west if you go
You know what I'm saying?
south.
Well,
Yeah, it'd be technically east, right? I know what you're saying, but I'm saying you ain't gonna see the flight going like that. Like there's gonna be no direct flight and nothing like that. Nah, that motherfucker going up. It's going up from bottom of South America or whatever, or through North America, through Canada, and it's coming back around down the top. See, what make flat patterns so much more understandable is when you look at what we was talking about earlier, that 1%, the United Nations. You look at their logo. On their logo, it shows you a flat Earth.
Mm.
does.
That's their logo.
The United Nations logo is a flat Earth.
And then make up any flight you want to. You're going to see why they fly the way they do, because it's a direct shot. It's so much more simpler to fly that way, you know what I'm saying, in a straight shot than it is to go around curves, to go around this way. Man, them motherfuckers ain't flying over flying over oceans like that.
I feel like the TV listening to every time
Yeah, it's
we
every-
talk about
oh,
it.
yeah.
showing
Yeah.
like
So pop up the-
About showing
Yeah.
the earth,
They showing Earth in it.
I think we hacked, fellas.
Hey, that's
yeah,
cool.
that might be
Yeah.
hack.
Hey, I'm with all the smoke. I don't give a fuck.
That's what I'm talking about, Cole.
Yeah, flat Earth is definitely one of the biggest conspiracies around the world right now. I mean, it at this point it's probably what 30 to 40% flat Earth belief, and the other maybe. I still think it's more
Oh,
people
hold
that
on,
believe
so-
in globe. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me add something else into that.
Uh-huh.
So earlier I was talking about like satellites and shit like that.
Right.
You know what's crazy is, so, any of y'all ever had a satellite at your house? Like satellite direct TV or some shit like
I
that?
did. I did.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Y'all ever had to install it?
No, dude, they came out and installed it.
We
Okay,
ain't seen them.
but y'all always seen like these satellites positioned at the same angle.
I never paid attention.
Me neither.
All satellites that, man, all these satellites,
Like DirecTV.
yeah, all that shit, all the motherfuckers is positioned at a 45-degree angle.
Dang.
It's for one reason, because they need to pick up on the tower. This in the area,
Okay.
it has to pick up on that tower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Come on, let's make sense of this shit, bro. These satellites are supposedly out there.
So
Man,
you saying that if satellites, so you talking about space at this point?
Yeah,
Because you saying that there ain't no satellites in space. Because if there was in space, then the satellite be aimed at the sky rather than aimed.
yeah, at a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
But also too, if it was all these satellites in space, how come when they supposed to take these pictures of Earth and all that, you don't never see a satellite in the damn picture? You see the space station supposedly in it, but you don't never see like what's that? That should say Verizon, or that should say Sprint, or that should
So
say
you don't
AT&T?
believe in space or planets or none of that?
Nope, I don't believe in none of
So
that.
you
shit.
thinking like a firmament?
Firmament,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
It's not you can't fly
Nah.
out of our atmosphere.
You can't. Anything that we see is within us, or whatever. Because if, let's say we all Christians,
You learn this in
Firmament.
school?
Yeah, I be looking at different shit.
Yeah,
but I'm saying it's like if we all Christians or whatever, and we all go by the Bible,
Right.
or whatever. In the Bible, it says a greater light and a lesser light was placed within the firmament. The
It
firmament
did
is
say
heaven.
They do say that.
And
in
it's
the
to
Bible.
shine light upon the earth. That's very specific. It didn't say shine light upon the universe, upon the Milky Way galaxy, or nothing like that. It said shine light upon the earth.
Yeah.
So it was like, so where's this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do that correlate? That's
Let me. So for the listeners right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, the flat Earth layout for what Cole believes in is basically you got round, flat Earth, and you have a dome
That's on the top.
over the top of the Earth called a firmament, and everything we see in space when we look in telescopes like the moon, Pluto, Saturn, all of that is within this dome
that we in.
the sun, everything. It's not all far out in the galaxy, in the cosmos, like we've been taught.
Snow globe.
Like, so basically
much
we
like
in
a
a
snow
snow
globe.
globe and
Yeah, for the-
everything.
yeah.
That's the flat Earth theory.
yeah,
The sun not
for the most
billions
part.
of
The
miles
sun
away.
not all the way out there. Everything
No.
is
But was also
much smaller and much closer to Earth.
right. But
Yeah.
what's crazy about that shit too was like if we look at it from what they tell us, you know what I'm saying, the solar system, you got all these planets that's out there, and then all these different stars that's within, you know what I'm saying, that's
yeah.
out there. Dog, how the fuck are we seeing the same stars?
Yeah.
I'm saying like for real.
Like the North Star and all
or,
that.
or,
Yeah,
or, or
be the
better, or
same.
better yet, like Northern Lights
Right.
or whatever. I forgot the name that they call it or whatever, but like if you go up to like the North Pole or whatever and all that, and they did like a time lapse video showing the stars or whatever, bro, the time lapse video showed the stars going within a circle. So it was like, huh? Like how was that even fucking possible?
Yeah.
If we spinning through space and all of this, traveling, going through this vacuum and all of this, how are we still seeing the same stars? The stars are supposedly said to be fixed, meaning
Right,
they don't
right.
move. So, okay, cool. They don't move. They stay where they at, but we move and we rotating. But somehow every night, you know what I'm saying, we always seeing the same shit. That shit don't make
Yeah.
sense.
It's deep, man.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
God.
That's deep. He said, "Cause God." That's a deep one. That's a deep one. Okay.
So what's your number one?
Yeah, come
All
on
right, so
with it.
we're going ahead and finish it up my number one, and I'm pretty sure all of y'all done heard me mention
I
this
already know we
a
about to
time or
say
two,
that.
maybe a time or three, a time or four.
Yeah.
My number one conspiracy theory that I think is very real is the Mandela effect.
I already knew it. I
I
already knew it, man.
Hey,
I knew what
hey,
it was.
wait a minute.
Before
Hold
he
up.
even said it,
Hold up.
before the show even started, I knew it was gonna be that.
Before
man.
we even got here, you know
yeah,
my
before-
number.
yeah, driving here.
Bro,
Like I know
Ye,
I know.
number
Ye
one
Skrilla-
go be
the
Mandela. effect.
Mandela effect. Hey, the
Yeah.
Mandela effect.
Why you feel like that, man?
Well, it's so many examples. That's literally a show by itself on how many Mandela effect examples. But what I would do is I would just start with the most popular one, which gave it its name, which Nelson Mandela. What was it, like 2012 or 2013? You called me.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was at the crib chilling. working on some beats,
Yeah.
and Cole called me and was like, "Hey man, just a quick question, bro. When did Nelson Mandela die?" I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, he died in like, I mean, I was in elementary school. Yeah, like the 80s, maybe late 80s, early 90s." And then he was like, "Yeah, that's what I thought too." I was like,
Right,
"Yeah,
right.
okay, so what's up? What about him? What happened?" He was like, "He's still alive, right? Because at this time he hadn't died yet."
Right.
I was like, "Huh? What you? Nah, Nelson Mandela died when I was a kid. I remember it vividly. What you talking about? He was like, "Man, Nelson Mandela is not dead, man. He died. He's still alive."
Yeah.
I was like, "No." So that was him introducing me to the Mandela effect. And I got to tell this story. I told all y'all. I remember specifically, like it happened
He
a couple
passionate.
hours ago almost.
He passionate about it.
Passionate about this.
Yeah.
I remember I was in elementary school in the 80s, and Nelson Mandela had died, and the teacher pulled the little TV on the trolley like we used to have back in the day, and it was like a free day. She was like, "We're gonna watch his memorial service on TV all day." So she pulled the TV in front of the class. Hey, I'm trying to tell you, I put this on my daughter.
Man, you got Drew
Hey,
scared over there, man. We
Drew,
gotta escort him
listen,
home, bro.
I'm about to blow your
What's
socks
up?
away, bro. She pulled the TV. She pulled the TV. Be funky.
Blow your shoes. Blow
She
the
pulled the
shoes
TV in
out,
front of
Drew.
the class, and we watched all day in school that day Nelson Mandela's funeral on the TV. And I remember Michael Jackson came out there and was talking. They had all the celebrities from the 80s, all the big celebrities came out there and spoke about Nelson Mandela and how important of a person he was. And I remember she gave us crayons and a paper, and I remember I drew like an African flag and colored it, and I drew Mandela at the top. And that was like my commemorative to Nelson Mandela as we watched his service, his funeral, his casket, everything on TV that day in the 80s when I was in elementary school. When I got home from school that day, I gave that picture to my mama, and she kept it on the refrigerator for weeks until it just got flimsy and ragged, and she eventually threw it away.
Damn.
That picture stayed on the refrigerator for like weeks and weeks and weeks, commemorating Nelson Mandela's funeral service that he had just died. We just lost an important person in the world. I remember it like it happened like yesterday. So when he called me, he was like, "Man, you know Nelson Mandela's still alive?" I was like, "Man, shut up, man. I remember it. I remember it. It was on TV. We watched the whole day in school, in elementary school, in elementary class. And that was the beginning of me falling into the rabbit hole
Oh, the
of the
Mandela.
Mandela effect.
So
man.
hold up, let me ask this.
Man.
So Cole, you remember this in school with him, or he tripped?
So we ain't go to elementary school together,
We go to
none of
elementary
that.
school
Okay.
But listen, I knew that this shit was some bullshit because, like, we from Detroit.
Right.
So the mayor back then in the early 90s was Mayor Coleman Young.
Coleman Young.
Uh-huh.
So we used to go to this place called Northland Skating Ring.
Yep.
When you walked in there, it had this picture of Coleman Young on the wall.
Mayor of Detroit.
or whatever. I used to always, because they both had like the little froze.
Coleman Young,
Yeah.
he looked just like Nelson Mandela. The
Yeah.
little gray
Okay.
fro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember going in there as a kid or whatever, and I went in, and I'm like, "Oh, he dead," or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it was like somehow, like at that moment, it was like somebody told me, like, "Man, that ain't Nelson Mandela," and I'm like, "It ain't." You know what I'm saying?
He said,
I remember that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I'm like, "Oh, damn!" But I always looked at them niggas like they was the same motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I was like, "All right, cool, whatever."
So
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody else funeral he saw.
Yeah, it was the mayor of Detroit, Coleman
Yeah,
Young.
yeah, it was the mayor of
He
Detroit.
looked like
Nelson Mandela.
They
So
had
they-
a picture at the skating rink.
So he telling you-
think he saw the mayor.
Come-
Nah.
Okay,
not
go on
at
into
all.
it some more.
What I'm saying is though, when I seen Coleman Young, because I thought it was Nelson Mandela, I knew that he was dead because I knew that Nelson Mandela had died.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Man.
So
y'all
you.
didn't see his release from
Yeah, that was he getting out of getting out of jail
remember that.
party.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember people bringing that up from like his release from prison.
Right.
And the reason I know it wasn't his release from prison that I was watching, because I remember the casket ceremony. I remember I remember seeing the casket the whole time. It was the casket.
What
Like in the
what
front.
color was it?
I want to
You
say it
don't
was
remember?
white.
It was white. Okay.
Yeah, I remember it was white.
Okay.
But I remember like all the celebrities. Like I remember Michael Jackson. You know, Michael Jackson used to wear that
Them-
army suit with
yeah.
the shoulders and the ropes and shit hanging.
Uh-huh.
I remember he went up there with his glasses on, and he was just talking about how he was so loved and how we gonna remember him. It was a whole bunch of 80s celebrities, man, and we watched the whole thing the whole day in elementary school. They brought us our lunch. We sat at the table, ate our lunch, watched it. They came, got the trash, man.
Yeah.
I watched Nelson Mandela.
So let me ask you
Over
this.
there.
Let me ask you this while you pulling that up.
Mm-hmm.
So you think we living in a multiverse or something? Like what's
So-
going on?
So this is what I think is happening. I think that there's alternate realities that we bouncing back and forth to.
Like Marvel.
Yeah, like we alternate
Marvel,
reality,
yeah.
like another real popular one. And it's a million of them, but I'm just gonna name a couple for time purposes. One of my favorite books of all time. I had every single one when I was a kid. My grandma, my bubby, she used to buy me these books all the time as a kid. The Berenstain.
Oh
Bears.
yeah, they spell it.
The
Yeah,
Berenstain Bears. I remember the Berenstain Bears.
it was spelled E-I-N, right?
It was Beresteen.
Ian,
The
that's
Berenstain
Berenstain.
Bears. I guess they might have been like a Jewish, like some Jewish bears. I guess. I mean, I don't know. But to come to find out, years later,
What?
There's a whole different.
yeah, it's been spelled Berenstain Bears. Stain, like a stain. on
Yeah,
your shirt or
Stain,
something.
yeah.
It has never been Stain. It has never been Stain, and it's
Right.
just I don't know what reality we bouncing in front of. The reality we in is Berenstain. The reality we in, Nelson Mandela just died 10 years ago. The reality we in, the Monopoly Man don't have a monocle on his eye. He never had one. The reality we in, Curious George never had a tail.
Mhm.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
Yep.
I remember all of that stuff.
Sinbad was in.
Sinbad was in. Oh, I gotta say this real quick.
Yeah,
I
go
gotta
ahead.
say this real quick.
Yeah, Sinbad was in.
There was a movie when I was a kid in the 90s called Shazam. That
Mhm.
Sinbad was the genie. It was two kids in the movie. It was a white boy and a white girl. And one of my favorite scenes in the movie that I remember vividly like it was yesterday, they was in traffic. And Sinbad was in the back seat. And they had to get somewhere real quick. So Sinbad was like, hey, man, all you got to do is make a wish and I can get us out of this traffic. So he made the car real thin. And they went through all the cars to get where they was trying to go. I remember that scene like it was Sinbad in the back seat,
Yeah.
the white kid it was in the front. And that movie never existed.
Yeah, man.
So,
S-
hey,
that-
man.
That movie existed, man.
That movie. You remember
But
Shazam?
Yeah. Oh,
But you know
yeah.
what's
It's a
crazy,
lot of
though,
stuff.
about like the whole Mandela effect and all that. Supposedly, when it all came into play and all that, when we started realizing all this shit,
They said the world ended then or something, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
2012.
20
But-
years.
But you know what, when it was like supposed like the world ended. It was, remember the shit I hit you up that day about?
CERN.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. In 2012, that's what they say.
So
Yeah.
Drew looking like what the hell going?
Yeah,
so,
Drew, you
so
better
one of the
be
theories
busy.
is that in 2012, in December 2012, the world really ended,
Yeah.
and I won't say the world ended, but the reality that we used to live in ended.
Is not
So now
no
and then
longer.
we shifted to a new reality
Yeah.
at the end of 2012.
And it was, let me go deeper in it, like just real
Go
quick.
ahead. Go ahead.
Mhm.
It was a company called CERN, CERN. It's based
It's a
over
real company. You can Google them. They
Yeah,
they
it's-
they
it's-
open.
It's
Yeah.
based, it's based over in Switzerland or whatever. So they was building this machine called the Hydro Collider.
Hmm
What they was trying to do with this machine,
They
was,
built this machine called the Hydro Collider.
Yeah, right. They built this, bro. The machine stretched over, I believe it was 7 kilometers, and it went into a full circle. So if you look up how big 7 kilometers is, you could be like, "What the fuck?"
That shit
You know
long
what
as
I'm saying?
hell.
The height of the machine itself was crazy, like fucking gigantic as fuck. And it took them years and shit to build this motherfucker. But when they finally built it, it was something like they wanted the machine to be up and running by November of that year. So in order for it to be fully up and running by November of that year, they had to start it in like May of that same year.
To
They
get
had
it
to, they had to
for-
start
to
it in
warm it
May.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to warm it up so it can be fully running by then. But the reason why they built it is because they supposedly they took every element off the periodic table and placed it within this machine.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of it was they said they wanted to recreate the Big Bang.
Yep. The Big Bang Theory.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to speed up every element within this machine at the speed of light. And they knew at some point all of these different elements will collide with each other. And it will, in a sense, recreate the Big Bang, because they say that's how the Big Bang happened. How we all got here, how, you know what I'm saying, all of that. So that's what they was. But at that moment, that's when they said we died. A whole nother portal opened up, and all of that.
And we went into that other reality.
You went to a whole
That's
nother
why everything's
reality.
so weird and different now.
Yeah.
Like Jiffy peanut butter never existed. There's always been Jif, J-I-F. Jiffy
Right.
never existed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cornbread.
No, not Jiffy cornbread. Jiffy peanut butter.
No, I'm saying my answer to that is you was thinking of the cornbread.
No, I remember Jiffy wrapped around the peanut butter jar when I was a kid, but it never existed.
Mm-hmm.
But even with that CERN shit or whatever, the thing is it can sound like complete bullshit for what we saying and all of that. The thing is, you got to say to yourself, dog, it exists. Like the company CERN exists. You can figure out, do your own research or whatever,
Yeah, I just do that.
and
They
it,
lie.
yeah, and
He said it came back.
It's like they'll tell you this themselves what their mission and purpose was, and you got to ask yourself like, why did these countries or that company or whatever decide to spend that much money to build this? What was the purpose of it?
The Illuminati.
And they got a
All
statue,
come full circle, bro.
Damn Illuminati.
and they got a statue in front of it. It's the statue of Sheba. You know, the girl who sits Indian style with like multi arms and all that.
Mhm.
Well, you got to look up who Sheba was. You know what I'm saying? And what that meant and what that represented and all that.
That statue is in front of the CERN facility,
Yeah,
right?
it's in front of the CERN. Yeah. And it's like, dog, all that shit.
It's deep. It's deep.
It's deep, Drew.
I'm gonna ask you one question, then we gonna close it out. Drew, you ever seen Star Wars? Not kinda. Well,
Kinda.
whether you seen it or not, everybody know the famous line.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Nope.
Oh.
Luke, I am your father.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
thinking
they
Star
switched
Trek.
that all
You
the
talking
way
about Star
now.
Wars.
Yes,
He
Star-
never
Star
said
Wars.
it, didn't
Yeah, you heard that phrase, right?
Yeah, I am your father.
Luke, I am your father.
Mm-hmm.
he? It never happened.
It's always been no, I am your father. So
Yeah.
all of these T-shirts that people used to wear saying Luke, I am your father, all these phrases, all these parodies, everybody was just wrong. It's never been Luke, I am your father. He's always said, no, I am your father. So
There you go.
the world got it wrong, man.
New world.
They're the new world.
The new world. We living in a new
We living in
world,
a
Drew.
new
You're a
world,
new man.
Living in a new world, man. But we hope y'all enjoyed our conspiracy theories list, man. This, like a lot of these conspiracy theories could be an episode in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all make sure y'all comment y'all biggest conspiracy theory in the comment section. And
And tell us where we got it wrong. Like,
yeah, tell us what we got wrong.
Yeah.
Cause I know we ain't scientists. We ain't everything ain't fast. We in the trap spot. We just talking, man. Before we get out of here and give it our IGs, I got to give another shout out to Tyson 2.0. He got a bunch of new products just came out. His rolling papers just came out. His cones just came out. Still got the blunt wraps with the toad terpene in them. Amazing products. You can find them at Smoke Guys 2472 MLK on the west side of Atlanta. Come get your Tyson 2.0 products. Make sure you like and subscribe too. Before we get out of here, we got to drop these IGs, man. Kobe, go ahead and hit him with your IG, bro.
Hit me up at Jacoby313, JACOBI313.
That's up.
IG.
On IG.
On IG.
Okay. Drew.
Drew International, DREWNTR National.
You messed your name up.
Damn, what?
It's getting
That's
late.
the-
It's
yeah,
getting
for
late.
real.
Well, it's
Go.
late, but we gotta start having these.
We gotta start coming
podcasts
early. A little early.
10,
Go ahead, Jay Hustle.
Man, sleeping.
Hit him
Hey
with your
man,
IG,
J
bro.
Hustle _HUC, man. J Hustle _HUC, and come shop with me, man. Hustle Up Brand on IG, man.
it.
Come
That's
get
it.
the merch.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right there at the bottom, right there in front of your
Be
boy,
there.
right there, man. As always, I am Ye Skrilla on IG, man. Hit me up in my DMs. Give me some topics for the next show, man. And check out my store, man. My smoke shop on the west side. The Real Smoke Guys, right here at the bottom, right here, man.
That's it.
That's it. Until next time, y'all be safe. Y'all stay trapping. We out.
Happy Halloween.
We'll be